Okay, so this reading is going to be for Pisces. So this one is for Pisces. Okay, they want to fight for your love. All right, so I do short-term energy readings because energy changes all the time. So I'll come back to periodically do this reading. This is a new series I'm adding to the channel. So I'm still practicing, progressively getting better. So thank you for the opportunity to read for you. And this being a general readings are not intended to resonate with everyone, so please kindly disregard it. If it doesn't fit, don't force it. I'll be back, like I said, to do another one. Now, also, a lot of general readings have neutral energies that could go either way. This reading is not intended to work that way. This is the deck here that's going to represent your person's energy toward the connection and determine if they're going to fight, how they're going to fight, and also it should display when they might initiate fighting or leaving the connection. So this one is your person's energy. This deck right here establishes your energy, this being your house, Pisces. So this is for Pisces. And here, okay, the first house is Aries, second house Taurus, third house Gemini, fourth house Cancer, fifth house Leo, sixth house Virgo, seventh house Libra, eighth house Scorpio, ninth house Sagittarius, 10th house Capricorn, 11th house Aquarius, 12th house Pisces. So that's your house, Pisces. Then in that reading, we'll be looking at you with other Pisces. All right, so we'll start in the first house. Okay, so, short-term energy readings, they change all the time. So if this one doesn't resonate, try back, check back in. I've come to realize, but you let me know, because initially, and usually in most of my streams, I'm kind of skeptic about, the whole hit the like button, uh, because people, they kind of tend to weaponize that. And I would rather you hit the like button if you feel led to do that for moral support, just to encourage me on the channel to continue doing this type of work. I've come to realize, however, that hitting the like button, leaving comments in the chat does help to infuse your energy in the reading. So like if this one doesn't resonate, just interacting with the content here, you should start to see your energy resonating more in the messages. Is what I have found. However, you let me know if you've noticed that too or not. So, and what else? At the moment, I'm mostly looking for basically internal conflicts in your relationship, if and when your person is faced with having to fight for your love due to some sort of obstruction or obstacles in your relationship. Sometimes we'll see external factors where it looks like if they would fight anybody for whatever reason, you know what I mean, outside of your relationship. Sometimes those emphases are stated, but generally speaking, it's looking at your reading if there's some sort of conflict internally, if they would fight for your love, how they would fight for your love. Let's see what else I've noticed. I think that covers everything. So let's get started, Pisces, looking at your connection with Aries. Pisces and 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 Aries. All right, Pisces. Okay, so for the disclaimer that this is a general reading that is not intended to resonate with everyone. For an example, in this connection, your person comes into this picture. It looks like they're already quite caught up in your energy. It's like you've, like you're a drug to them, you know, very much caught up in your energy. So it's like a euphoric dream type of the energy that they're caught up in. Okay, so I don't see them bailing out. They're addicted. Okay, they're addicted to your energy. So at the first indication, they feel like they need to uh, fight for your love. It looks like there's a delayed response, mostly because they're caught up in your energy. While they're caught up in your energy, they're more so studying, reading you, reading the connection, reading themselves, feeling your connection, feeling the passion. Okay, so it also appears to be the spice in your connection that intensifies arousal, and they're experiencing it though. So you might not notice, um, it won't be obvious is what it looks like. There's a delayed response and it won't be obvious. So it looks like there could be a heightened passion in your connection, a lot more chemistry. And so you might see them more touchy-feely, wanting to be in your energy more. Okay, more romantic, more erotic, more passion. Now, depending on how things go and how it progresses, but off the rip, this is a yes. Your person will fight for your love, but the way that they the way that they fight for your love is more subdued, and it's more in the subconscious realm. Okay, and it's almost like I did describe intoxicated. It's almost like if someone gets caught up in a web, you know, and I'm trying to think of another spider other than a black widow comes and, you know, inoculates them. They're fighting, but you can't see the struggle. It's all internal. It's almost like in a dream state. And they become more, like I said, more aroused, more passionate is what that looks like for this reading. Now, depending on things go and progress from there, it looks like there's a high likelihood that the intoxication starts to wear off. If they feel like they need to fight for your love, there's a 50-50 response. Okay, so a 50-50 response is exiting out of the connection. And also it looks like in this exit, they're getting what they came for out of the connection too. They got what they wanted, and it looks like most of it was physical passion. But if it just continues to be more of an agitating type of a fight that they feel like they have to do, that's when they start to exit. But like I said, they don't feel like they're leaving empty-handed. They might ghost. Now, there's another portion of the collective that will fight for your love, but they will, looks like, go underground in the way that they fight. That's more covert, undetectable methods that they use to fight. So it depends on the circumstance, what they're fighting for, how they would fight for it, or they're more in your face. So it looks like now, depending on your person's character, like for example, warning, if your person is combative and volatile and have anger issues, it looks like they could become more angry, agitated, volatile, violent. Be careful with that. The other, there's another portion of the collective though that go more underground, more subliminal in the methods that they use to fight. Still undefined how they might go about doing this, but triggering you, manipulating your connection in some sort of way. It looks like, it could be some sort of entrapment like setting certain things up to get you even more entrapped in their energy and in their life. Like they could do something to trap you so that you can't leave out of the connection. So they could try to deleverage you, you know, try to pull the power from your leverage so that they leverage themselves to be more dominant and superior in your connection where you can't leave, but then they, you know, you won't be able to flex on them like you used to type energy. This right here suggests if they haven't ghosted the connection as described earlier, it looks like there could be like a, I don't want to say like a, yeah, the word is reckoning. Like they just get better at whatever they do. It gets more intense at whatever they do. So the highlighted area of concern is if they're violent, be careful, beware, because that could stand to intensify. So you just, this will be that highlighted area of concern that if you start, if your person feels that they need to fight for you and they become violent and abusive, you be careful. Because it looks like the longer you stay in this connection, the worse that they'll get. Okay, if you notice that there's certain type of sabotage energy, them belittling you or trying to deleverage you, you know, beware and be careful, because that's going to get worse. So if they just leave, and it does suggest they're not leaving empty-handed, as stated, they could just energetically be in there for the good times, for the pleasures, and then just start to move their energy out of the connection. But yeah, the answer for this one is yes, they will fight for you. And even as they move their energy out of the connection, doesn't necessarily mean that they're leaving your connection. They're just withdrawing their energy, withdrawing their presence, and they're likely going to come back, especially to experience the good energy. If they feel that this is intoxicating and they love the pleasures that you guys have, looks like they'll come back for that. That's what I'm getting so far for Pisces and Aries. Now we'll look at Pisces and Taurus. Pisces and Taurus connections. Pisces and Taurus. 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 Okay, so it looks like for this one, it will take an emotional toll on them. They will take this personally. They will internalize things. You should see them become more depressed, a little more stagnant, and a little more unrecognizable in their character, withdrawn. So at the indication that they need to fight for your love, they have regret as well. They feel like they take it personally. Because they don't like that energy. They don't like to have to fight for their love. They take it personal. And I feel like I was unable to get another card until I expressed that, because it felt like this sentiment, this sustains for a long time. So the fighting for your love, it looks like it's mostly internalized. And they are sustained, suspended in that energy for a long time. For a very long time. So eventually, if that is prolonged, where they continue to feel like they got to fight for your love, they start to diminish the value of your connection. So this is once they've gone through the stages of grief and processed everything, they start exiting. They start to remove themselves and devalue the connection. The King of Pentacles is Taurus's card. Technically, that's their card. Coming in reverse. Okay, so they're diminishing the value of your connection. They could also become financially abusive in your connection, but definitely just not pouring value into the connection. They might, like I said, become financially abusive towards you. Again, this looks like the method of deleveraging the power that you have in their connection so that they can have the power. And then, once they've gone through this, sad, depressed, stagnant, taking it personal, all the things described here, once they start checking out, like pulling their value away from the connection, they don't take it as hard anymore. The healing process is shorter. The thing about it is, I don't see them leaving the connection. Okay? I don't see them leaving the connection. It just seems like they process the connection. They come to a determination of how they will treat this connection. And they get better at healing themselves, self-soothing themselves. And also, they don't blame themselves like they used to. Here, they felt like they were taking it personal. But eventually, if it persists where they feel like they need to fight for your love, I said they deleveraged, they take the power, and they heal faster, and they don't take any of the blame. So they might come over, you might view them as a narcissist because of the way that they self-preserve and the way that they don't take accountability. You might feel like they don't take accountability. But that was the process that I see of the way that they handled it. Will they fight for your love? I would have to say yes, because putting any energy into it at all, that is a yes. But the way that they go about it is subjective. Like, how would you feel that that's a fight for your love? But that's what I had for Taurus. And now we're looking at Pisces and Gemini. Pisces and Gemini. Pisces and Gemini. Pisces and Gemini. Okay, so initially they'll fight for your love. This says yes, that they will. As the connection progresses, they become more underground. When I get these cards in reverse, for me it's the subliminal method that they go about fighting for your love. But it does look like there's mental games. Okay, they become more headstrong. They put more logic versus their emotions. And then as far as if you were married, so this being a reading that won't resonate with everyone, this specific connection has a high likelihood of that there was a marriage. They'll be moving towards divorce. So At the first stage of feeling like they need to fight for your love, they get analytical. Okay, so with this assessment, they might, not might, it looks like they go through the process of determining whether or not it's truly their fault, whether or not they feel justified to fight for it or not, if they feel like the blame is yours, if they feel like you're doing something manipulative, or, if you're too emotional, or if they, all of these assessments, all of these judgments, they'll likely have little tests that they'll put you through, which is what I said, mind games. But this is how they will fight for your love, is determining and questioning and coming to their own consensus and conclusions. So then it looks like they go underground as far as being more subliminal, more covert, under the scenes, what they will do. It looks like they have a tendency to become very dark, and it looks like matching your energy, and they feel like having to fight for your love would be to match your energy, and it feels low vibrational. It feels like they will have to be going into the depths of low vibration to match your energy here. But you may have dreams, epiphanies, feel their energy around you all the time. They will be feeling your energy all the time as well. And I feel like this is still part of their analytics. They're analyzing you and the connection. They're meeting you on every level. They're matching your energy. If you go left, they can go left. If you go right, they can go right. Type energy. It's like you've met your match. You've met your match with this person. They will come to realize if it's genuine, if there's some serious, genuine issue that you're dealing with, or if you're playing games. They will figure all of that out. If this continues to progress, it also looks like as they go low vibrational, to match your energy and to also assess how genuine things are as stated. It looks like there's also an evaluation as to whether or not they want to stay in this relationship with you or not. This connection looks like a twin flame connection, what would be described as your soulmate and twin flame. In this capacity, your twin flame is able to match your energy. They're meeting you on your level. If you two have a meeting of the minds, you will see each other in your reflections. And so if they find that this is genuinely you and your genuine vibration, then you just met your match. And they know, they come to realize they've met theirs too. You have mutual understanding of one another. You both are able to go as low and as high. You have someone who understands you. And then you also gain an understanding. So it looks like here too, this person is able to become transformative. You transform them. They're able to heal you. You can heal them. You both have a likelihood to heal each other and to evolve in your connection and grow closer than ever before. Okay, so depending on your connection, depending on the refinement and maturity of your person, and you two being able to match each other's energy, finding yourself in them and they in you, determines the outcome of your connection altogether. But this particular connection is very dynamic. This is a special connection. This is a soulmate. You guys were meant to meet, and you were meant to explore those depths together. And as you do, they learn more about themselves. You learn more about yourself. But if they find that there's disingenuine, immature energy here, and that they are unable to work with you, you are unable to work with them, then they'll start to exit and move towards divorce if you're married. If they were looking at this also tends to suggest that if you're not married, they were looking at you with the lens of getting married. And that goes out of the window, depending on what they find as they follow your frequency, as they follow your vibrational frequency. So the question is, if they will fight for your love, the answer is yes. You two have met a match in each other. As you are water and they air, as you are water and they are air, you're very dynamic together, and you've met your match in the facet of air, logic, information, intelligence, and they have met their match in the facet of emotional and spiritual. That's what I see here for Pisces and Gemini. Now we'll look for Pisces and Cancer connections. Okay, Pisces and Cancer. Pisces and Cancer. All right. So for the Pisces and Cancer connections, the disclaimer that this being a general reading and it's not intended to resonate with everyone, this particular connection, you guys meet each other in the capacity of, will they fight for your love? They want to fight for this love at a point where it seemed like you were just about to, you either just met each other during a transitional stage in your life. Okay, like they could have just moved to the area, for an example, or you could be one of the first connections that they made since relocating, or they, that's your story type of energy. You guys could have just gotten out of a relationship type of dynamic. Something is new and something transformative in your connection. So this is that type of reading. So at the point where they feel like they need to fight for your love, they're also going to test and see if you would fight for their love. They want to know, if the roles were reversed, would you also fight for their love too? So it looks like they would try to mirror your energy and reflect back to you what you reflected to them. That's going to help them determine whether or not they will fight for your love. If it's matched energy and they come to the determination that you care about them, you feel the same way about them that they do you, then that determines whether or not they would want to move this connection to a higher level of commitment. This connection also suggests for those connections that have been together for a while, but you just met some sort of challenge together, and both of you have entered a new phase of your relationship. But this confrontation that you're visiting, like I described, it'll be that tit for tat. What they're trying to see is if you would do for them what they would be prepared to do for you. And if you do, if you guys have that type of mutual love for one another, mutual ambition to fight for one another's love, that comes to determine whether or not they want to progress and continue to move forward, raising the level of commitment, or if they want to go ahead and release the connection and move on, seeing that it doesn't have the value that they initially wanted. That's what I have for Pisces and Cancer's connection. Now we're going to move to Pisces with Leo. Pisces with Leo. All right, so will they fight for your love, Pisces? This says to me, yes, they will fight for your love. And it looks like their fight is minded and geared to fight, to be successful, to win you over, to win your heart. They may suggest therapy off the bat. You know, could be holistic therapy. You know, you might see them, you know, trying to give you suggestions about, you know, hey babe, you look tired. I don't think you've had enough sleep. They might respond to you like that. You know, hey babe, you know, I think we should maybe plan a vacation together. You know, spend some quality time together. But their method is trying to heal you, heal the connection. They might start changing up the diet, like, hey babe, I think you need to change your diet. I think that you might see them suggesting a lot of things. You know, change your diet. You know, I think you might have a drinking problem or something, substance problem. They're gonna try to heal you and heal their connection. You know, if that doesn't work, you might find them kind of withdrawn, okay, to heal themselves, because they realize that they can't help you if they're not okay. So this is somebody that is a healer. Okay, they know how to heal themselves, and they also want to heal you. But this is the way that they'll fight for your love. And that's what it looks like. They're not going to give up on you. Okay, it makes them more determined to win you over, to heal your connection, to have you fall in love with them. It makes them fall in love with you even more. And this connection says that at the sign that they need to fight for your love, the answer is yes, they will fight for your love. Yes, they are high-minded to win you over, soothe you, neutralize that fight, neutralize it. And also they want to commit to you. So they just want to heal you. They want to heal your connection. They want you to feel better. They're going to try to win you over and move your connection to a higher level of commitment too. Also, because after investing all that time and energy into you, they start to realize that they have invested time and energy. So this is a connection that they want to lock in with. It also suggests that, you know, for that disclaimer that this is not a reading that will resonate with everyone. This is a connection that has a high likelihood of you guys have chemistry. You guys are compatible. And also their methods to heal you are effective. And also it looks like you're reciprocating too, that while they try to heal you, you try to heal them, and both of you evolve together as a couple and as people individually. So they start to see very endearing qualities in you. That's what I see for you. Interesting, we have Virgo's card there, the Hermit, but we're going to move into Virgo and Pisces connections. Okay. Virgo and Pisces connections. Okay, Pisces, so we're going to be looking at Virgo's energy and how they will fight for your love. If they will fight for your love, how they will fight for your love. Okay. All right, Pisces. So, it does say that initially they'll fight for your love, and the way that they communicate and the way that they respond to you through communications. It looks like also initially. So it looks like at the moment that they feel they need to fight for your love, you're going to get the best of them in the beginning. Where it looks like they might even break certain rules for you, do things they don't normally do for you. They will do that for you. That's them fighting for your love in the beginning. But it looks like if they continue to feel like whatever they did in the beginning is not working, it looks like they take it personal. And unfortunately, like a highlighted area of concern for Virgo is it starts to break them down emotionally, and they start to see problems in themselves. They start to feel inadequate. So with a disclaimer that this is a reading that's not intended to resonate with everyone. If your Virgo is not one that has a diminished sense of self, and if they actually have very high value of themselves, high esteem, they don't take accountability, they don't take blame for anything, this is not your reading, because this Virgo takes it personal, and they also start to have a diminished sense of self. Okay, that's how they interpret needing to fight for your love. So initially they fight. It looks like they try to comply, try to do whatever it needs, whatever they think you need them to do. Like I said, that involves doing things for you that they normally wouldn't do. So this is subjective, because I also have the sense that this particular Virgo is kind of a closed off, conservative. So what they feel like they went all out and did, you could, depending on your experience and what you're used to people doing for you, you could diminish that and say, man, you didn't do anything at all. Like, is that all? You know, and that's the type of energy that would have them start to diminish their sense of self and take it personal. They'll start to take it personal. And the next thing that they do, though, is it looks like they start to make an exit. Okay, so you'll see the diversion of their energy. They'll start to move their energy out of your connection. They'll feel that this connection is toxic to them. They will begin to realize that their sense of worth is diminishing, and they will start to move out of this connection. And you'll see their attention wavering away from you. So initially, for example, when you call them, they're very responsive. You ask them to come over, they're coming over. They're very available for you initially, but eventually you'll start to see less communication. You'll start to see less availability from them, and they're pulling their energy away from you. And they're starting to waver if this is the connection that they want to stay in. So for this particular connection, the suggestion would be, if you wanted it to stay, this one could be doomed, though. This one could be hopeless. It depends. This one could be hopeless. But if in fact there's mutual blame, you know, and if in fact you can analyze your connection and say, okay, uh, what they did wasn't really much in my book because I'm used to people doing a lot more. But if you're able to see this person and evaluate this person, but based on them, okay, I can see how that was a big deal for them. And then, give them some credit, try to, what is that when people do? Affirm, affirmations, acknowledge, see them and let them know that you see them. Then that could be, because it looks like they waver, undecided if they want to stay in the connection or not. But the more that it gives low self-esteem to them, devalue of their self, they don't even recognize themselves anymore, there's a high likelihood they'll be exiting out of the connection. But if they do feel like that you're trying and that it's a two-way street, and that you're trying to work on this, and especially if they feel that their sense of self improves with you, then it looks like there's also that chance of them coming back to you. But this is the way that they fight for your love, and the question is, if they will fight for your love, we'll say yes. All right, so Pisces, now we're going to look at your connection with Libra. Okay, let's see, Libra and Pisces. 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 All right. So this says, Pisces, your Libra will fight for you. They will fight for you in the beginning, right off the rip. They will try to meet your challenge, however they feel like they need to show up to fight for you. They will. They'll be showing up. Showing and proving. Yes, they're going to show up for you. They will fight for you. They will fight for you. It looks like they will fight for you for some time, too. They will fight for you. Eventually, without success, they'll start to leave. So they'll put their best effort up front. If it progresses and they continue to feel like they need to keep fighting for you, it'll be more diminished, but more prayers. They'll be praying for themselves. They'll be praying over the connection. They'll be praying for you. Okay. They'll be trying to understand you. So it looks like not much, activity. You might see that their energy diminishes. It falls back a little bit, but they haven't left yet. They're analyzing. They're praying. They're trying to pay attention. They're trying to figure out, is there anything I haven't done? Is there anything else I can do? They'll fall back. They'll fall back. It looks like it may take a while for them to actually leave the connection. So slowly and surely, yes, slowly and surely, by and by, they start to check out. If they feel that their attempt is not successful, they feel that they've done everything they're willing to do, they feel like they've done everything they can do, they start checking out. Checking out. This is the type of connection. This is the type of Libra. This is the type of person that they say, I was gone long before I left. I was already checked out. Because they're going to stay, they're going to fight up front, but eventually they're going to just check out if it persists. Alright, so now Pisces, we're going to look at your connection with Scorpios. Okay, Pisces and Scorpio. Pisces and Scorpio. Pisces and Scorpio. Pisces and Scorpio. All right. Pisces and Scorpio. Okay, so this is the type of connection that is the spice. Okay, this is something that they find attractive. You want to fight. You want to fight. So you might find them having a delayed response. A delayed response. You might just, okay. And it's interesting because their delayed response, because they like it. They like it. They're intrigued. They're enticed by it. And also, they hold back because they want, low key, they want it to intensify. Like, they want more of what you're giving. They want more. They're getting the pent it up. You might even hear them encourage you. You might even hear them encouraging you to do it, or see them somehow trying to encourage. And you might even be like, are you trying to make me mad? Yeah. You might even get a hold of the fact, oh, you like this, don't you? Type. And yes, please, 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 they will fight for you. And their guards go down. It looks like their attention shifts more into your connection. All right. So this is a reading that's not intended to resonate with everyone, because this particular couple, there's attraction, there's chemistry, they like you like that already. So it's like that song. They kind of take it like as a game, like that song. How does that song go? I always mess it up because it's been a while. It's an old school. And play that little game you play, and you go high, and let me see. Let me be the one to make you weak. Yeah. But anyhow, and their guards lower, their defense is lower, they become more vulnerable. Like, oh, what are you gonna do next? So the answer is yes, okay? I'm thinking about you every day. Okay? Game we play, I think that's by Subway, a group called Subway. Okay, let's look at Pisces and Sagittarius connections. Pisces and Sagittarius. Thank you. Pisces and Sagittarius. Pisces and Sagittarius. Pisces and Sagittarius. Alright, so anyhow, the answer to this is yes, they will fight for your love. They will fight for your love. As the connection persists, they'll become more possessive. They might even become controlling. At least they'll try to. All right. You might hear them with some slick communication, talking real crazy to you, crazy to anybody. Initially, though, they play it cool, they play it calm. Initially, this also, for the disclaimer that this is not a reading that will resonate with everyone. There's a small audience in this reading that you guys met kind of more like on a sneaky link, or something was real subtle. Like you could have had somebody else, but you're checking out of that connection into this one. There's something about that. But the thing is at the point where they feel like they need to fight for your love, this becomes a connection that they start to pour more of their attention and energy into. They become more present, more pronounced in your connection, in your energy, in your life. So it makes them want you even more. And like I said, with them becoming more possessive and controlling, anybody can get it too. They would fight for you in public. They'll fight anybody if they try to disrespect you or disrespect y'all. So the answer for this is yes. Next, we're going to look at Pisces and Capricorn connection. Capricorn and Pisces. Capricorn and Pisces. Off the top, this is saying yes. They will fight for your connection. Alright. The fight for your connection, though, off the top, this one here is concerning. Is a highlighted area of concern because they start to, it looks like they could become exploitive and start to take the value out of your connection. Okay, they don't intend to leave empty-handed. And they also seem like they have like a tit for tat type of an energy. So there's a higher likelihood that they would mirror you. Okay, and it feels like they feel like it's shenanigans. Mirror your shenanigans. So this also is concerning because there could be like a misinterpretation because it's like off the rip, like just in the very beginning. So they could misread you and just coin it as shenanigans, because that's what I just heard was shenanigans. So this particular person, this particular Capricorn, appears to be vindictive. So you want to be careful with that one. Looks like they could be vindictive. It looks like they could be judgmental. It looks like they could leap and insinuate things that might not be the case. It looks like they figure they got your number right off the rip. They could be wrong. So that would be concerning, because if they're reading you wrong, it looks like their response is very volatile and severe. One of those things that you can't take back, like actions that you can't take back. And it looks like they become mentally like unhinged, vindictive, spiteful, saying mean things. And again, and also they look like they could rip you to shreds mentally and exploit the situation, not leaving empty-handed. use your connection as some sort of stepping stone toward a new venture for themselves. This is not a reading that will resonate with everyone. So if these characteristics do not resonate with your uh, person, that would be one of the indications that this one is not your reading. I'll be back to do another as soon as possible. And so now we'll look at Pisces with Aquarius. Pisces with Aquarius. Okay, so for this particular connection, all right, one of the details of this one is that before they felt like they needed to fight for you, they've already invested in you. So this looks like someone who was very, they had like chivalry. They took you out on dates. They spent a lot of money on you. They invested a lot of time and energy. So now that they feel like they need to fight for your love, it's devastating for them. And they're initially starting to think about cutting their losses. So this is devastating. There's also information that you guys might live together. You might have some things at their house. They have some things at your house. This is heartbreaking. So they take it personal. They take it personal that they will need to fight for your love after everything that they've done for you already. They're taking it personal. They feel like a violation. Like, why? After everything that I've done, like you're still not satisfied type energy. Why do I have to fight? Alright. This connection looks like it was also a divine connection, like somebody who's a soulmate, twin flame, like you were supposed to meet. You were supposed to be together in this lifetime. They were supposed to experience you. You were supposed to experience them. They have a lot of love for you. So they're devastated. And yes, they'll fight for you. Let's see. What else? They will fight for you. And it looks like this type of fight that they will do is one that could that could bring about a child. It's one of those type of reconciliations, make up to break up to they could become the mother or father to your children. And it looks like after that point, that's when they'll start to think about disconnecting and letting the connection go. And at that point, it's not going to be as easy to let the connection go because as I described in the midst of it, well, they already started pouring money into you and investing in you. So it doesn't look like any. Then it looks like if you stay together, children come into the picture. If that's a possibility, if you can still have kids, this looks like the type of passionate making up and breaking up that could bring about that type of added dynamic in your connection. This looks like they will always love you. You will always be part of their life. Okay? But they start to check out of the connection with you though. They'll always love you. You guys will likely always be in communication. They will always find value in you. You guys have already established memories that are for a lifetime. So they just get to the point where they start to emotionally check out. Will they fight for you? The answer is yes. Eventually they check out if it continues. Yeah, but this looks like the long story short is they don't really leave the connection ever. You guys go through a lot. It looks like you go through a lot real fast as well. That's what I see for Pisces and Aquarius. Now we'll look at Pisces with other Pisces. Pisces with other Pisces. We did Pisces and Cancers already. Yep, Cancers govern the 4th house. So hey you guys, thank you for chatting with me, and thank you for tuning in. Cancer governs the 4th house. We're in the 12th house, so we did Pisces and Cancer connections. Now for Pisces with other Pisces, so Pisces, the watcher here, this is your reading, and we're looking at your person of interest, how they will fight for your love. If they will fight for your love, we'll see how they will fight for your love, and when they will fight for your love. Pisces with other Pisces. Pisces with other Pisces. This is a short-term energy reading. It's not intended to resonate with everyone, so don't force it. I'll be back to do another as soon as possible. Pisces with other Pisces. Let's see. Pisces with other Pisces. Pisces with other Pisces. So initially it says that they would likely check out of the connection. They're not going to progress it any further. However, for those of you that are already locked in, living together, for an example, something about your connection is not one that they can easily dismiss or leave or walk away from, then it says that they will fight, they will work, okay, and they will likely move the connection to a higher level of commitment. Alright, so initially it says that they would bail out. They would just like vanish, like ghosts, like just get out of the connection real quick. But there's a higher likelihood that this connection, they don't leave, they can't find a way out. It's like they can't live without you. It's like can't live with you and can't live without you type energy, but they're going to be moving with you, working on the connection, working on staying with you, working on raising it to a higher level of commitment. So will they fight for you? If they feel that this is the connection that's worth fighting for, which is a high likelihood that says it is that connection. So at the first point of feeling like they have to fight for your love, there will likely be a delayed response. You just see their energy slow down, but they haven't left. In that case, they're just processing. They just are paying attention. They can feel it. There's something. So they just take a moment of pause. But it says, yes, they will fight, and that this fight for your love will likely ascend to a higher level of commitment in your connection. That through the process of fighting for your love, it looks like they're going to learn more about you. You'll learn more about them, and that it will draw you closer together. So that's what that one mostly says. Mostly, I don't see your person leaving. They will work on the connection. That's what that says. That's probably because you're both Pisces. You're probably both reciprocating. They probably already have a high understanding of you, why you move the way you do. But yeah, it says that they will fight for your love, and it will be the type of fight that brings you closer together. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this live stream. I'll be back to do another as soon as possible. Thank you so much for your support on the video and on the channel. Signing off for now. Until next time, peace.